Alrighty, traders, welcome back to today's live recap of the NASDAQ 100 futures. My name is Chris. Today we'll be featuring the full powerhouse lineup. That's right. We're going hardcore. CYMO Pro, PureMO, and ScalpMO, and we're going to be doing something important. Something that can help a lot of you avoid one of the biggest landmines traders step on every morning. And that's getting caught in bad trades early on in the day. So we're going to kind of walk through it today, and I'm going to show you exactly how that works. On the 2-minute over here, we will be featuring, we'll be showcasing ScalpMO, and we'll be illustrating how it captured the cyclic component of price, helping you navigate the chop and short-term swings early in the session. Then here on this bad boy on the left, the 5-minute chart, we'll be using CYMO to show you market structure and how it laid itself out, giving you a clear macro view to help filter out a lot of that early morning noise. Because here's the deal, guys. If you got caught going the wrong way this morning or felt like price flipped on you 30 seconds after your entry, it wasn't bad luck. You just weren't using the right map. And CYMO here on the 5-minute could have helped you step aside and wait for clarity before jumping in head first. And trust me, that's the difference between starting the day with a clean slate or digging yourself out of a hole all morning, all right? Just a quick heads up as well. Today, it's Thursday, I'm going to be running this session till about 11 a.m. And then I've got a commitment after I've got to get to, so I'm going to cut that short right about that time, okay? So we're going to keep it tight, focused, and packed with value. Also, very important, guys, Dr. Freud is officially in session, okay? And if you got the email earlier today, you know that Dr. Freud is live inside our Discord. It's a project we created to help you crush the mental game of trading. So if FOMO, hesitation, revenge trading, or doubt has ever wrecked your day, Dr. Freud is designed to help you break through those barriers, okay? It's live and it's free for members. So check it out in our Discord after the stream today, all right? So now back to this recap right here that we're just about to begin any second right now, all right? I want you guys to watch closely today because I'm going to show you guys how ScalpMO handled the cyclic swings in the AM session. And we're going to use PureMO to identify structure to avoid the landmines, okay? This is really important, okay? Then we're going to also show PureMO's confirmation when momentum actually mattered, okay? And this is how you build the real edge, folks, okay? It's not just about signals. It's about understanding the environment you're in and matching the right tool to do the right job, all right? So without any further delay, guys, I know I've said a mouthful already. I'll shut up and I'll just go ahead and kick this bad boy in high gear and get started, all right? So here we go. 10 times the speed of the market. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this bad boy is going to go ahead and take off as soon as it hits the 9:30 marker right here at the opening bell. So in just a couple of seconds, okay? And here we go, guys. All right, it's just about to begin right here, okay? Boom, there we go. That was the opening bar in today's session right here. Okay, you see it here on the 5-minute chart on the right-hand side. Now, let's analyze and understand what is happening here on the 5-minute chart, okay? Which is really important in understanding exactly which way the market is actually heading. The 5-minute chart is over here on the left, okay? Now, if you look at this, this is the very first bar of the day right here on the 5-minute chart. You've already got 3 bars printed on the 2-minute chart right here, okay? So here's something I want you to pause and I want you to pay attention to, okay? What's happening here on the 5-minute chart? Even though, okay, this chart here on the left, okay, even though you've only got 2 bars printed on the chart here, if you come down and look at CYMO, Okay, what exactly is CYMO telling you right there? Okay, can someone guess and tell me right there in the comment bar, what exactly is CYMO telling you here on the 5-minute chart? Okay, look and see where momentum and cycle is right there, okay? I'll just give you like a second or two if you want to type that into the comment bar and take a guess at what CYMO is doing here on the 5-minute chart. Second bar of the day, right there. You're 10 minutes into the session. You're looking at this and you're trying to figure out, okay, is this going to go down? Is it going to go up? What's it going to do? Okay, that's what you're trying to figure out. All right. Now, if you can't figure it out, I'll tell you right here. Okay, it's real simple. You see, it's trending. Exactly. J momentum. Absolutely, buddy. It is trending. That's right, baby. It's trending right here. And the trend, okay, didn't just start at the beginning of the market. It started way back at 340 the previous day, right here, okay, when momentum started to rise, and momentum actually just took off like a rocket. Look at this, okay, right here. It's trending. So if it's trending, if this is the beginning of the trend, where did cycle 1 begin? Well, if cycle 1 ended here, it definitely began over here, okay? So check this out and follow me because this is really important, okay? This is top level stuff, guys, right here. You cannot miss this. If cycle 1 began here and cycle 1 ended here, right where the trend began. Remember, guys, markets go from cycles to trends and from trends to cycles all the time, all right? And you've heard me say this many times. So if the trend begins here, it reasons to say that there was a cycle right before it. So here's your cycle. It begins here, ends here. This is the beginning of the trend, right? And if this is the beginning of the trend and you've only had one cycle, what exactly do you expect to happen with cycle right here, with the cyan line? Are we going to have perhaps a second cycle rotation to the upside? Is that even a possibility? Let's find out, okay? Let's go ahead and run this bad boy right here, and we're going to look at this in tandem. So right now, you've got momentum above the threshold, okay? This is not a setup to go short, guys. By no stretch of the imagination is this a setup to go short right here. Yes, momentum is exhausted right here to the upside on the 5-minute chart, okay? It is a little bit exhausted right there, but there's no setup right here to go short, not yet, okay? So let me ask you, let me stop it there because I want you guys to look at this. You see this little 4-bar pullback right here that just happened, okay? Would you have taken this pullback to the downside right here, knowing that on the higher time frame, there is no setup to go short? If the market began as a trend the previous day and cycle 1 just completed itself and now you're in trend mode up here, okay, and you're at the second bar of the day, would you really risk your capital in taking a trade to the short side right here, right out of the gate? Would this be a smart trade to take? Okay. You guys can drop your comments in the comment box, guys. Don't be afraid, okay? This would certainly, as you know, guys, would not be a smart trade to take to the downside, okay? You don't have support. You don't have anything to take this. You only have a simple oscillation to the downside right here that's not really gonna go anywhere, all right, guys? And that's really important, okay? So if you have momentum all the way up here and cycle rotating up, let's see where the trade actually occurs, all right? And that's the important part of this lesson here today. Where would you actually pull the trigger to take the trade to the upside, all right? If there's any upside at all. Let's watch this, okay? This is very important. So you got cycle here on the 2-minute all the way up, okay? And this is your cycle chart because you are in cycle territory all the way up. You got momentum below the 0 line right there. You got price now all of a sudden, you know, just coming down right there, okay? And that's normal behavior. But look at what's happening on the 5-minute time frame, guys, right here, okay? Cycle is about to cross above the 0 line right there, okay? And if it's about to cross above the 0 line, guys, okay, let me stop it right there. You're right there. It just crossed above the 0 line right there, okay? If you would have been, you probably would have been quick enough to have taken this trade right there. You probably could have executed this trade. And let me go ahead and see if I get my little execution screen here. All right, right there. All right. And I'll just go ahead and leave that right there where it is. Maybe drop it to one contract. Okay. This would have been the entry to the trade to the long side right here. Okay. This right here. Let me show you why. Okay. So you got a couple of things going on in your favor. Smack Daddy, oops, did I mess that up? I did. Let me go ahead and make the 0 line again, right there where it is. One, you've got cycle right there going above 0, okay? And two, you've got a pivot right here that just went up in price, okay? This just went up in price right here. This is telling you, hey, perhaps this is going to go up, in price, and it's going to move up right there. And you've got your purple line right here that actually took off to the upside as well. Okay, right there. Okay, so you got a couple of things going in your favor. Now, what are the chances of this trade actually moving? Let's look at this. Okay, at 10 times the speed of the market, it's really hard to execute these type of quick moves right here on the chart, but I am illustrating exactly how this would have happened in today's market, okay? You would have exited this trade the moment the purple line and the cyan line cross right there, guys. That would have been the exit to this scalp to the upside, okay? So here you go, okay? Couldn't take it. It moved too fast at 10 times the speed of the market, but if you notice the 2-minute chart right here, you notice that cycle went up, momentum went up, this bad boy crossed above the 0 line, but you had support from your 5-minute right here, okay? So these 3 bars where price actually just ripped, and then it came down, and then it just kind of whipsawed you right there. You would have avoided all this mess right there had you just been looking at where CYMO and market structure was leading you in the process. Right here at the 0 line, guys, this is where price actually took off to the upside. You see this? And that's really, really important, okay? Because if you're monitoring this and you see this bad boy above the 0 line and flat, and it's telling you, yeah, it's trending to the upside, and all of a sudden you see cycle number 2, you got cycle number 1, and you've got cycle number 2 beginning right here. Well, hot dog, that's a good point for me to go ahead and position myself to take a potential trade to the upside right here, okay? So that's exactly what you could have done. This was your entry. This was your exit. You would have scalped it right there. That would have been a nice trade for an early morning entry, okay? So let's go ahead and see what else this market gives us. And I'm going to kind of walk you through the process of this, guys, to make sure that you don't miss some of these trades on the 2-minute time frame on the cyclic chart today, okay? Now, price looks like it's coming down a little bit right there. You have a couple of things going on right here with ScalpMO. You can tell that price is sort of in this exhaustion area right here, okay, if you would. Okay, that's a little exhaustion zone right there, and it's coming down, okay? You've got the acceleration below 0 as well. Is this a trade to go short? So let's watch. Okay, now you're almost at the inflection point right here, guys. You're at the inflection point. Momentum's coming down. You've got the cyan line below 0 right here. Okay, hello. What could potentially happen? Okay, what could potentially happen right there? Okay, we still have this bad boy right there going sideways, and you're halfway about the cycle right there. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. And look at what's happening here, guys. You've got cycle number 2 ending the move, okay? Cycle number 2 is ending the move, and that's what you want as far as market structure is concerned in order for you to take a potential trade. So here we are, guys, okay? Cycle number 2 just ended right there, okay? And that is the end of that upside move right there. This little upside that began the previous day right there, continued going up, guys, fizzled out right there at the end of cycle number 2. That is the end of the trend to the upside that began the previous day in the afternoon session right there. You've got momentum going down, cycle going down right there. And now you've got your 2-minute chart over here that's designed to capture the cyclic component of the swing that is just, you know, really super noisy right now. And you've got this bad boy right here coming down as well. All right, so let's see if there are any potential trades to be taken in this chart. Let me see if I could actually blow this up right there. Okay, that looks a little better right there, just a tiny little bit better right there. And let's see if we can go ahead and see some opportunities right there in this chart, okay? Right now, you're very close to the zero line right there. There is no trade right there to be taken to the downside. By the way, guys, you already have confirmation from your 5-minute chart that price is likely to go down. So now you've got momentum right here falling, okay? You've got cycle right here, okay? And this looks to me like there might be a potential trade to the downside if this bad boy actually comes down, okay? So let's go ahead.
Order filled.
See if we get a trade in there, okay? And we will take this bad boy off the moment the cyan line crosses above the zero line right there. And the moment it crosses above the zero line, I wouldn't mind taking that trade off right there, okay? You got both cycle and momentum falling right there. You're pretty much at that threshold, guys, right there, where it's starting to get to right there. That's your signal
Order
right
filled.
there. You take the trade off, okay? And let me go ahead and stop it, okay? We took the trade and we got in right here, guys, okay? Bingo. And we ended up clipping the trade for a nice little quick scalp that went from 390 all the way to 350. So that's 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. That was a 40-point clip right there in the NASDAQ. Okay? That was a nice trade right there. Okay, that was not a bad trade whatsoever, okay? Now, how did this trade originate and how did we make it happen? Okay, guys, one of the first things we looked at was our 5-minute chart. Which way is price moving? It's finally moving down right there, okay? Both momentum and cycle are moving down on the higher time frame. I came back here to this 2-minute chart and I said to myself, okay, where is my potential entry to this trade right here? I saw cycle falling right here, okay? Right smack right there, I saw momentum below the zero line, and I saw this bad boy right here about to cross zero, and I jumped and I took the trade. The moment it crossed above the zero line, that was it, guys. I took the trade off at that given moment. Now, this is right here at the cusp, okay, of this base support line right there, okay? And if it's at the base support line right there, you know what comes to mind? I am curious to know, okay, if this has already fired a signal over on my trend chart, okay? So let's go ahead and bring that bad boy up and see how that looks, okay? Because this chart right here already told you that price is going down, okay? And price will go down until the cyan line crosses above the zero line right there, okay? So here we go. This is your trend chart right here, okay? This one on the left, okay? Now let's analyze this. Wow, look at this. We had a cyclic move to the downside right here, right smack over here, okay? You had cycle number 1 right there. Let me just go ahead and put the arrow right there. And the reason we know this is cycle number one, it's cycle number one to what? To a potential trend. And this is the trend component right here, guys, when the yellow line sinks below the threshold, okay? And that started smack daddy right here where I took that trade. Look at this, to the downside, okay? This was the little cycle component that turned into a trend right there. And let's look at PureMO. PureMO over here on your trend chart gave you a shift in momentum right here when it exited the gray box at 10:08 in the morning, all right? So this is telling you right here that you're in trend mode. This is exactly what this chart is telling you right here. It's telling you, hey man, you are in trend mode right now, and it's probably a good time to get into a trade, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and continue playing this bad boy right here, okay? And let's see how it all shakes out, okay?
Order filled.
That would be the second leg of your trade right there with ScalpMO coming down. You already have momentum coming down and cycle and momentum right here too, okay? That is the second leg of the trade if you want to trade the trend component. And now I'm looking at the trend chart over here on the left, okay? So now I'm taking my cues from the trend chart right here. And look at this, guys, right here. Momentum is coming down here to its exhaustion zone. Okay, let's see what happens. And here you go, guys. Momentum is right here at the exhaustion zone right here. This is over 50 points right here already, guys. And the moment right here on your 2-minute cycle chart that this bad boy goes up, I can guarantee you that this trade is going to be officially done and over with right there. Okay?
Order filled.
Bingo, right there. That would be the end of the trade. You reach exhaustion right here. Even on the cycle chart, cycle just went up right there. You are done, guys, right there. Simple trade to the downside. And if you wanted to pursue the cyclic trade to the upside right there,
order filled.
That is your entry right there, guys. Okay, you got cycle going up, momentum going up. You've got ScalpMO going up right here. You got the inflection point right here as well. Okay, so that's another trade right there to the upside. And that is the end of that little clip
order
right there
filled.
For about another $300 in that rotation, okay? Right there. That's your inflection point, okay? This is where price takes off right there, okay, to the upside. And this is where you clip it for your exit right there, okay? The moment it crosses with the cyan line. You're done, okay? Right there. Nice, clean trade to the upside. And you took it with ScalpMO and CYMO because now in the reversal, price reverted back into the cycle territory here. So you don't want to use a momentum indicator when you're in cycle territory because if you notice, CYMO here set at 14, it would have completely missed the trade and it would have gotten you out way out here. See this right there? So that's the reason you use a tighter setting of 7 whenever you're in this cyclic range inside right here. Okay, guys? So now that you're in this little cycle range right here, all right, let's see if we can take another potential trade to the upside, okay, or downside right here. You got momentum falling, cycle is all the way up over here, okay? And if cycle goes up, what goes up must come down, especially if momentum is all the way down here, okay? That is a
Order
trade
filled.
to the upside right there, guys. Okay. That definitely is a trade to the upside. You got cycle moving up, momentum moving up. These two bad boys right here are also moving up right there. That continues to go to the upside. And the moment that these two kiss goodbye, that's the purple line and the cyan line, the trade is over. Okay. So we will go ahead and clip
Order
that
filled.
for about $300. And right there, guys, that is the end of it. Okay, right there. You're back in cycle territory. You're using a cycle indicator, and you're using a clipper like ScalpMO to go ahead and time your entries and exits. All right. So you've been watching these tools work day after day, guys. You've seen the market turn. Okay, showed you guys exactly how to get out of these, how to avoid some of the early morning chop by looking at the 5-minute chart today, okay? And if just in case you're wondering, okay, on this trade right here that we just took on the 5-minute, check this bad boy out. This little pop right here, guys, happened right here. Look at this, okay? Moment that momentum rose right there, okay? That was it, okay? This little downswing was done. And by the way, cycle 2 ended right here too. Look at this. Bingo. Okay, right smack daddy at the bottom. Okay, that gave you a very good clue that price was actually going to take off and go the other way. Okay, you've seen the market turn. You've seen these tools with your own eyes. And now the question is, are you going to keep watching, or are you finally going to take action, guys? You can test drive all of this right now, free for 7 days. And that includes CYMO, PureMO over here. Okay, this is PureMO right here. You got ScalpMO over here. You've got the dynamic VWAP. You've got our daily briefing bot, and you get 2 private one-on-one setup sessions. All of it. Zero pressure, zero excuses, guys. Okay, y'all can click the link in my bio, take the 7-day free trial, and start trading smarter, not harder. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there for now. This is what, about 11:15 in the morning. I promised I'd make it a short session today. And I'm going to go ahead and open it up for any Q&A before I wrap it up and blow out of here. Okay, guys?